How we doing today, everybody? It is November 26th, 2023. It is 11:18 a.m. It is the professional trader here, back again with another video. Today's video is just going to be me giving my personal opinion on the Forex markets for the week, taking a look at how I see things and taking a look at how I plan on proceeding for the week. So let's just go ahead and waste no time and get right on to it. So as always, for anybody who is watching, always like to start off with Forex Factory, just to be aware, of the news that is happening this month. So, from Sunday to Friday. So, yeah, some JPY news on Sunday. We have some AUD news on Monday. On Tuesday, we have some USD news. We have AUDCBI later that week, and a lot of NZD news. Wednesday, we have some Euro news, some USD news as well, and some GBP news. Also that as well. Don't really pay attention to that. We have unemployment rates, OPEC, GDP for CAD, core PCE price index, unemployment claims on Thursday, and on Friday we have CAD unemployment, ISM manufacturing, and Mr. Powell speaks. So I'm not I pay attention to fundamentals, but I'm not sure how impactful this news this week will be. But still just good to be aware of the news that is coming out, just so we could be prepared and things of that nature. So go ahead and just start from the DXY, like how I always started from the DXY. So, we're taking a look at the go ahead and take a look at the weekly chart. So for the past, several weeks, the DXY was on this big, uptrend, pushing up higher and closing bullish for the week for the past several weeks. Lately, it's not doing that. We see that we had this resistance right here. It broke above. It tried to hold above this resistance, but couldn't. And now we see we have this big impulse candle followed by retracement, followed by another impulse candle, and then last week also closed pretty bearish as well. So looking at the DXY, from a weekly standpoint, just something I want to be aware of. I see this, we have this, right here. So, price was pulling up, retested down here, wicked all the way down there before eventually breaking above, right? And now we see that price is potentially heading back to this area, and that this support level might hold, who knows? And then, if we drag it, we also see that it held 2 weeks back here, right? We saw price come up all the way here, reject it. We saw price come up all the way here again before it started that impulse move all the way back down. Pull it back up here, retested it one more time, broke above, and now we're back in that area. So from a weekly perspective, if if I am a DXY bear, this week I want to see, if that level can, if this level can get broken, can we continue? Can we break lower, here and continue to to test out here, right? And if that happens, in my personal opinion, then we have these levels right here, and then we have this obvious low right here, right? So most definitely bearish. The DXY is bearish, but just want to see if we can get that continuation going into this week, right? Or will the buyers step in from this point right here, and will we see the DXY bounce back up? So um if I had to pick a side, I'd most definitely still be going with the trend. But since I'm not in anything right now, it's hard to sell it, down here, right? You don't want to sell it down here because it can potentially buy back up here. So for me, just want to see if we can clear these lows. And if we can clear these lows, then I'll be looking to trade with a DXY bearish analysis. So take that knowledge and go ahead and start looking at some other Forex pairs. So start off with gold. Looking at gold, on the weekly, we have this, this obvious level of resistance, that is right here. And then, we also had this, mini resistance that was right here. We saw price break above it. The support level didn't hold. I mean, this resistance level didn't hold that resistance, and we saw that be retraced deeper than, this break. But now it seems that we're heading back up to these highs potentially. So, for gold, I want to see if we can create another high. And if we can create another high, then, I'll be looking to potentially buy this chart, right? So, for gold, all I want to see is if can we break this level right here? And if we can, any type of retracement, I'll be looking to trade it back to these highs. So bullish on gold from a technical standpoint and also from a fundamental standpoint. But let's say none of those happen and let's say it starts to go the other way. Personally, I wouldn't look for any type of sell on gold until we broke, below here. And if we broke below here, we'd want to see, we just want to see those breaks, right? So the trend to me is bullish. So I'm going to look for potential opportunities to go along with that trend, right? So just want to see if gold can create that higher high this week, right? And if we can create that higher high, if we can get any type of retracement, I'll be looking to go along on gold. GBPJPY, go ahead and delete this. From last week, if anybody's watching my videos, if anybody remembers, I was saying that I was liking GBPJPY to the upside, and that happened. We got that upside movement, and and now we're just kind of like, I'm not gonna say gray area, right? But we're just like super high again, right? So, and we have this level of resistance potentially right here too. So buying GBPJPY, right now to me isn't the best choice. So, but how could I get into GBPJPY? So, I have these levels marked up on my weekly. I have this resistance level. I have this resistance level marked up. And I had this kind of trend line. We see price touched, went up, came down, touched, went up, right? So I'm looking at GBPJPY, and for me to get in on a buy on GBPJPY, I'd want to see, price maybe come down here, or if we can see price come down here, these are levels of interest that I'd be looking to buy GBPJPY. But until either one of those happens, I just have to stay on the sidelines. I was in this trade. I exited kind of early, stings a little bit, but it is what it is. There's always more opportunities in the market for sure. So, GBPJPY, just want to see if I can catch it, from a nice place. And if none of those happens and we start off the week, just completely breaking, you know, can I catch it, going that way? So, couple options on GBPJPY. Just needs to be patient and see, what's gonna happen. And and if it just keeps going without me, then it just keeps going without me. And that's just what it will have to be. So yeah, that's GBPJPY. On GBPUSD, go ahead and delete that. We'll go to the weekly. Right. So we were trending down, for a while, right? But then we found, support, down here in this little noisy area, right? And then ever since then, right, we've been buying back up, right? And we broke out of this, mini resistance right here, right? We saw price fail, push up, kind of retest it, pop up, drop all the way down, and now we're back up above it, right? So to me, GBPUSD looks, bullish until further notice. So, how can I get in on GBP USD? Because I'm not in GBP USD, right? So, you know, I'm looking at it, right? And we had this first impulse move, followed by this retracement, second impulse move, and now we have like, this third impulse move, right? So, for me to get in on GBP USD, I want to see if we can start the week, maybe retesting this once resistance level right here, right? And if we can see price come down, if sorry, gotta speak English. If we can see price come down here one more time and see price fail, start to see wicks, then I'll be interested in trying to get in on GBPUSD. Right. So that's how I see GBPUSD. Not really any opportunities for me at the moment. Just because something we just need to be aware of, right? We have this support level right here. We saw price go pop up, retest it, pop up, go down, pop up, retest it, right? Before finally breaking, lower than this level, right? And now we see that we are right back at that level. So support can potentially now be resistance, right? So something just to be aware of on GBPUSD. But the trend, in my opinion, still says that the buys on this is valid. So even if this level was to fail, I would still like the buy, potentially seeing if we can, come back here and then break it before going up higher, right? So that's how I see GBPUSD. And if that doesn't happen and we start off the week breaking that, if we could come back and retest that support level, then I'll like it as well. So those are my two options for GBPUSD. And if none of those work, we just start to see price fail, we start to see price, make these lower lows, then maybe it'll be time to rethink it. But the trend is most definitely bullish. And in my opinion, nothing has really said that it is maybe time to look the other way. So that's how I feel. Euro USD, go ahead and delete all this. Start on the weekly. All right, so kind of like the same thing with GBP USD, right? We saw that price hit this support level right here, right? Euro USD is a little bit cleaner in my opinion, right? We saw price go up, go up, go up, right? After trailing down for so long, right? So we had this first impulse move, we traced the second impulse move, right? And now we're kind of back in that area where we saw price, right? We saw price drop here. We saw price drop here, right? And now we're kind of back in that area, right? Not exactly, but kind of by right. That's the highest wick that happened, right? And technically, this is higher than this, right? Technically it's higher than that, but we're kind of just in that region where we saw price, drop a couple of times. So yes, I do like Euro USD. I still like the buys potentially, but we do need to be aware of these resistance levels that are up here. And these are weekly resistance levels. So, you know, do need to proceed with caution. Most definitely in my opinion. But um as far as it goes, I would still be looking to buy it for sure. Maybe up until these levels, or maybe even this high right now, because price really hasn't shown any sign of failure, right? So, and the DXY has been pretty bearish. So yes, these resistance levels are coming up, but price action is not showing that these things may be ready to turn the other way. So this is one of those times where like selling high and buying low might not work out, because yes, as soon as it comes here, you can sell it because we have this obvious resistance, but nothing from a price action standpoint has really just told me to do that. Not yet, right? But right, we have this mini resistance level right here, right? This daily resistance. We saw that price rejected it for a couple of days, but on Friday, right, we saw that we kind of recovered most of the moves. So for me, I'm looking at Euro USD, from two ways. If I wanted to buy this market, right? I see this support level, that we have, down here. That's an area of interest I'm in. So, if price can, pull down here, maybe hold, that's potentially, a play. And then, if price just starts the week off, pretty bullish, and we just see another clear of these highs, right? If we could break that, and retest this level of resistance, then I also like it to potentially buy it to these resistance levels, here, here, and then all the way up here. So just going to be patient on your USD. Just need to see if that DXY bearishness is going to hold, and if the DXY bearishness does hold, then we have opportunities for sure on these other pairs. AUD USD, right? Look at this from a weekly perspectives, right? So we have this low right here that price never really just never fully touched, right? But then we have this, this wick action that happened, right? And we saw that price didn't find support right here, but it found support right here, right? We had this big impulse move followed by it impulsing all the way heavy right back, but then another impulse move up, and now we see that we're breaking, this area where price struggled so long, right? So, right. And then we also have, right, we saw price, right? We saw price pop up one time here. Price popped up a second time here, broke below, came right back up, right? Popped up another time here before finally breaking below, right? So, AUD USD, kind of like the same thing with all these other pairs, right? Nothing has really said that, I should start selling them just because they've hit this support level this has to hold as resistance, right? Nothing has really said that has to happen. So I'm gonna just keep on going along with what's been happening. And that's right, these big impulse moves that have been happening. So for AUD USD, as long as we don't break below this 0.65247, I still like it, to the upside potentially. So that's one way I see myself buying AUD USD. Another way I see it is, if we break higher, retest, and then, we'll be looking to potentially buy it to those levels of resistance, up there. So um probably going to be staying away. We'll definitely be staying away from the 1 hour chart. Might even be staying away from the 4 hour chart. To me, the just need to see how these daily candles close, right? Because for something like this, even the 4 hour could be tricky, right? Even the day it could be tricky, right? Because we came and hit over here big, right? Came up all the way over here and completely wicked all of it. From a daily standpoint, a lot of people are putting sales here, right? With a stop loss right above here. And last week we see that, if you put a sell right here with a stop loss right below here, you're potentially almost about to get stopped out. So, you know, pretty tricky right now, right? A lot of things not just 100% clear, right? I'm personally gonna wait for things to become clear before I execute on these trades. So that's how I see myself entering AUD USD. And if we do cross below, these levels right here, I will be looking to short if we can break below that support level right here and start to head back to these lows right here. So that's my thoughts on AUD USD. Not watching USD Swiss franc, Euro AUD. Been talking about Euro AUD. No need for me to even look at the weekly, in my opinion. Just because still just need to see, right? We had this mini support on the 4 hour, didn't hold, right? We saw that price has been steadily and just slowly creeping down, right? Just slowly creeping down, right? Lots of wicks in this action, just lots of wicks in this action, right? Lots of wicks in this area. Sorry, just a lot of wicks, right? I had this sell drawn up. I didn't take the sell, but I still watching Euro AUD, right? So for me, just wanna can we break out of here? Break out of this. If we can break out of this and give this area a retest, then I'll be looking to potentially short it, one more time back to these lows. But until then, I'm just gonna be cautious and just gonna be patient on Euro AUD. pretty big range that it is in now. USDJPY, I feel like USDJPY is potentially lining up for a sell. Just look, the setup looks really nice, right? We were on this big impulsive uptrend, right? And now we see that price started to impulse to the downside, right? Big impulse, retrace, impulse to the downside, right? And now we're seeing on the 4 hour, we have this triple top. Price came down, came up, failed, came up, failed, right? And now we kind of have this triple top action going on USDJPY. So USDJPY looks pretty nice from a technical analysis standpoint. Selling this. Only thing that is keeping me from selling USDJPY is just I'm not quite sure how that yen strength. I'm not sure how strong the yen really is at the moment, right? So that's why, even though from a technical analysis standpoint, this does look very bearish. Um, just not really ready to sell it just yet. And quickly, let me just look at the yen, right? So we saw that the yen found some support down here, popped up, gapped all the way up, but couldn't break above here, right? And then now it's all the way back down, right? So the yen might be super weak, even though the dollar is kind of super weak right now. If the yen just remains super weak, there's a chance that this just might consolidate for the longest, just go sideways or things of that nature. So um I like USDJPY. Looks like a good setup, but if that DXY can just remain super bearish, then maybe USDJPY is a good setup to take. But would just want to see some yen strength right before I took this trade, and I don't think that yen strength is valid personally. But what I do like better is USD CAD, right? I'm not in this trade, but right, we see that we've been breaking these support levels, right? We had the support level broke, retested, broke, and then broke the support level, right? Now this support level is potentially going to hold, right? So for me, USD CAD, I like USD CAD more than USD JPY. USD CAD will probably be the pair that I focus on this week. So, when the market opens up, if this level starts to reject, this is potentially a sell option as well. If price pulls up here, that's potentially a sell option as well. And then for me, the last sell option I would be looking for is if price pulled up here, right? Would be looking for the sells over here. But taking my fib tool, take it from this pop, it's this low, right? So you have this 236 level, you have this 382 level, which kind of matches, and then we have this 50% level, which matches with that level that I had drawn up. So yeah, just going to be watching USD CAD for sure. Probably like USD CAD and gold the most going into this week, and maybe AUD USD as well. So, those are probably the three charts that I'll be watching the most this week: AUD USD, USD CAD, and gold. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I look at, right? And we see that oil is selling pretty heavy, which should help with that USD CAD trade, I believe, because I believe the Canadian dollar and oil will go hand in hand a little bit. CAD JPY, we see that like I said, that yen strength wasn't as true as I thought. And that's why, we saw this hit that support level and bounce right back up. Same thing with Euro JPY, right? That yen strength really didn't last all that long. So that's why I'm a little bit hesitant on USD JPY. But yeah, that's pretty much how I'm seeing everything for the week. Um, go to my metrics. I am at 6.36%. All right, so almost there. Not quite. Yeah, but yeah, if anybody wants to log in and see how my trades are actively doing, here is everything for you, just so you know everything, just so you know that everything I say is not lies. But that is how I'm feeling about the Forex markets for this week. Um, just gonna be patient, just going to take things nice and slow. And if the setups come, then they come. If they don't, not going to force them. Patience is key. But thank you to anybody who watches these videos. Yeah, man, let's have a great week.